So now we're going to start to get into the user class, and particularly I want to get into the registration form. Okay, so if we click create an account, it takes us to our register form, which takes name, email address, username, password, avatar, and then just a small about me text area. Now, first off, the reason that this is happening over here is because we need a topic object in order for our categories to display correctly. So if we go to our register.php file, not the template, but the controller in the root directory, we're just going to create a topic object just so that we can use the sidebar. Actually, what am I doing? We're going to So we'll just say topic equals new topic. Alright, so that fixes that. So we are going to have a very small validation class so that people can't, for instance, leave fields blank. But I want to get the actual registration process complete before we add validation to it. So basically I want to be able to just add in our information and have it go to our users table in our database. Alright, so a good majority of the code in this video will be for the avatar, for uploading the avatar, because we want to make sure that we do some validation on that in terms of what extensions can be used, so JPEG, PNG, things like that. So let's do that first. So I'm going to go to the user class, and I'm just going to paste in some code here. I'm going to paste in our method to upload the avatar. I'm sorry, we need to create the class first. Class user. Alright, so we have a function called upload avatar. Basically, we're going to have an array of extensions that are allowed. Alright, so all the image extensions, and then we're basically going to explode the file name, and basically we want to get it by the dot, and since it's a dot JPEG or dot PNG, we can actually grab that with the end function. We can grab the last section and then put it into an extension variable. Alright, and then down here we're just saying we're checking the types here, making sure that they're valid. Here we want the image to be less than 2 megabytes, and let's see, what else are we doing? If there's an error, then we're just going to redirect to register.php along with the error message. Now this redirect right here, this is going to be a custom function that we create. This isn't part of any kind of framework or anything like that. So we're just going to create that. We'll do that in a second. And then down here, basically we're saying we want to move the file, so we're using the PHP function move uploaded file. This is a PHP function. It's not something that we're going to define, and basically we just want to put in there where we want the file to go. In this case, it's going to be images, and then in the avatars folder. Alright, and we're going to return true. Okay, if everything goes well, we'll return true. If not, then we're going to redirect with an error. Alright, so let's go ahead and create that redirect. That's actually going to be in our system helper. So if we go to helpers and then system helper, and I'm just going to paste this in. Alright, so it's a function called redirect. It takes 3 parameters. One is the page that we want to redirect to. Next is a message that we want to send, and the way that we're going to send it is through a session. Okay, we're going to create a session variable for our message, and also a message type. So we could use error or success if we want it to be maybe green, or an error would be red, so we can format it nicely. So basically here we're just going to say if page is a string, then location will equal page. If it's not, then it's going to assign the current page basically to location. All right. So basically, if we don't include a page, like maybe register.php or whatever, then it's going to use the current page. All right. That's a better explanation. And then down here we're saying if the message is not null, so if we include a message, then it's going to set that to session message. All right, and then we can access that from literally any page. And then down here we're doing the same thing, except we're checking for a type, and we're going to put that inside of this session variable, and then we're just going to use the header function to redirect to our location. All right, so very simple function. Make sure you save that. Alright, so let's get back to our registration. So far we have the upload avatar method in our class. What I want to do now is just go to the register.php file. So this is basically going to be the page that we submit the registration form to. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go right here, and we're going to check to see if the form's been submitted. Alright, we can do that with using post. We'll say if post register. Okay, actually we want to check if it's set. So is set post register. And this register, where this is coming from, is in our form. Our our submit button has the name register. So we're checking to see if the submit button was clicked. Alright, and then if it was, basically we want to grab all the fields that were submitted into the post array. Alright, so I'm going to paste this in, and basically what we're doing here is just getting all the post data and putting it into this data array that we create. Alright, so we get the name, the email, username, and right here we're going to encrypt the password with MD5. Alright, so all you need to do is use this MD5 function and surround the password and the password confirmation field. Alright, then we get our about text, and then for last activity we're just setting that to the current date and time. Alright, so that's pretty much it for our post variables. Next we want to handle our avatar uploading. Alright, so I'm just going to paste this in, and basically we're saying if the upload avatar method is true, then we're just going to define, we're basically going to put the file name coming from the files array into our data array. And if it's not, if the avatar did not get uploaded, then we're just going to set it to noimage.png. That way we can have a standard image for people that don't upload their avatars. Alright, so I basically just want to test this now just to make sure that we can upload an avatar. So I'm going to save that, and let's just see what happens. I'm just going to type in anything. We don't need any validation. This, however, should be an email address because it's set to the input type of email. And then for an image, let's see. Take this sample one. I don't even know what it is. And register. Alright, so undefined variable user on line 19, and then we have call to member function upload avatar. Okay, so we didn't instantiate the user object, so we need to do that. So this will be new user, and this will be user. Okay. Class user not found. Oh, we didn't have the user class saved. Alright, so email, make sure that that's an email. And this can be anything. Alright, so let's just check and see if it actually uploaded. Supposed to go to images, avatars, and it did not. So I want to be able to see some kind of error, and what it's doing is redirecting, because that's what we told it to do if something's wrong, but we need to catch our messages. Okay, so it's redirecting here to register, and we're sending a message, but we have nothing to output it. The message should be stored in the session, so we should be able to access it. So what I'm going to do is go to our header include file in our templates folder, and I just want an area where we can display messages. Alright, and I want it to be basically right above the main content, so at the bottom of the header file. And I want to create a helper function to aid us in displaying session messages. So I'm going to go back to system helper, and under the redirect function I'm going to paste in the display message function, and basically it's just going to check to see if the message variable, if the session message is set, or if it's not empty. If it's set or not empty, then we're going to go ahead and assign it to this variable, and then we're going to check to see if there's a message type. Alright, so if the message type is error, then it's going to just output the message with the Bootstrap alert danger class to make it red. If it doesn't have the type of error, and if it's anything else, it's going to have the success, which will make it green. Alright, and then after we display the message, we want to make sure that we unset those messages. Alright, so let's save that and then go back to header, and all we have to do is call that function display message. Alright, so let's save that, and let's see if we get anything. Alright, so we're getting invalid file type. So if we go back to user, so if we check the if statement here, we know the file type is JPEG. I think what's going on is it's less than 2 kilobytes. I'm just gonna increase this to 5. Alright, and then that should work. So let's go type in an email address, choose that image file, register. Okay, so we didn't get an error, so let's go ahead and check to see if the file was actually uploaded. So it should be in talking space, images, avatars. Alright, so there it is. So we know that the file is uploading. So now we can focus on the rest of the registration. So let's go back to register.php. Alright, so like I said, we're not going to do all the validation in this video. We'll do that in the next. I just want to make it so that we can insert the data into the database. So let's see, under our upload block there, I'm going to paste in another block of code. Okay, let me just align this correctly. Alright, so basically we're going to call the register method in the user class. We're going to pass it the data array, which holds all of this, and if it's true, then we're going to redirect to our index page with a message that we can log in. If not, then it's just going to redirect us and say something went wrong. Alright, so save that and then go into our user class, and basically we want to create our register method. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in, and we will go over it. Alright, so first thing, we're going to create our query. We're going to use the database class, this DB query, and the query is going to say insert into users, and these are the fields that we want to fill. So name, email, avatar, username, password, about, and last activity. And then we're basically going to use prepared statements. We're saying values, and then we're going to put these placeholders in. Okay, so basically the same text as the actual field, along with a colon in front of it. And then down here we're going to bind those. Okay, so we use this DB bind for each field that we want to insert. Alright, and then we're going to put the value, which of course is coming from our data array that we pass in through here. Alright, so it's going to bind all those values, and then it's going to execute it. Alright, and by execute I mean it's going to place it inside of our database. And if everything goes okay, we're going to return true. Alright, and that's why we have if user register. Alright, so it's going to return true. If everything goes okay, then we'll get this. If not, then we'll get an error message. So let's go ahead and save this and give this a shot. Okay, so create account. We'll say Steven Wright, and his email will be swright@yahoo.com. We'll call him swright, and password avatar. Let me just grab something here. Sample. God, I hate Yahoo. Alright, so let's just get this, I guess this apples picture. We'll save that, and we'll use that as Steven's avatar, and we will click register. Alright, so undefined property user DB. Okay, so I know what that means. We didn't define a DB object in our class, so let's go to user. And if you remember with our other classes, let me just show you, topic, we defined a DB as a class property, so we got to do that. I don't know why I forgot to do that. And then also we need to instantiate it inside of the constructor. So copy that, and that should allow us to use the database object. So let's go ahead and try that again. Okay, and register. Alright, so looks like it worked out. It says you are registered, you can now log in. So let's just double check, make sure that Steven's here. Alright, so the users table, you can see we have Steven Wright, his email, avatar, username, and now you can see the password is now encrypted because we used that MD5 function. So you definitely want to do that. You do not want to store passwords like this. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually just copy this and use the same password for everybody, which is just 12345. Alright, we didn't fill in an about field. Last activity, you can see is the date and time of the registration, which is the same as the join date. But you can update this as you add more functions. Alright, so let's say the user posts a topic, you can update this date in the PHP. Alright, so that's what I wanted to do in this video, is just make it so we can actually add a user. In the next video we will implement a really simple validation class.